What is up guys, it's your boy Solheim here, back with another Classic WoW video for Season of Discovery. Now today we are reacting to RestedXP's brand new video, titled Phase 2, 7 Things to Prep and Expect in Season of Discovery, /Classic WoW, /Classic WoW. So it's a Phase 2 prep video, talking about what to prepare. I've made numerous videos on this myself, things that I'm personally doing, my full prep plan, and also my investments as well that I'm making, like gold making prep for Phase 2. So prepping for Phase 2 is something I've been doing quite a lot of, both on stream and also in video form, that you guys have been watching both on Twitch and on YouTube. We're also doing reacts like this over on Twitch, so if you wanna be there for the reactions, well, the link to my Twitch is down below. I will also leave a link to RestedXP's channel and video in the description down below, so go and check out his video if you haven't already. RestedXP was a big inspiration to me when I started making Classic WoW videos back in 2019, I think it was? 2019 or 2020, like way back when. I used to watch a lot of his gold making videos, and I took quite a lot of inspiration from the way he's doing the videos as well, kind of like informative, showing the results and everything at the same time. So here we go, let's take a look at the video and what he has to say about Phase 2. Now with that said, let's check out the video.
Phase 2 is almost here and people might think we're going completely blind into this.
Just a little bit of lag.
Wrong with that. It seems that the majority of players like this type of no beta, no testing, no nada content.
How do you feel about that, by the way? Are you guys enjoying the fact that we're going in not completely blind, but as blind as we can? No beta testing, no stress testing, and very little data mining as well. Sure, for Phase 1 we knew about the runes, for example, from data mining, but personally that didn't really make or break my gameplay. It's just let's just say we know the runes for Phase 2. I would personally like that, because then I can look at the runes we're getting, look at what is coming, and figure out which class I want to play based on that. But then I still have to go out, find how to get the runes, do all the content, the brand new content, farm the brand new rep. There's so many things I still have to do and explore in the game, so I enjoy the fact that we're going in semi-blind, but not completely blind. Plus, the base game we still know about. We know what's coming in Phase 2, we know what's coming in Phase 3 for the most part. We know what's about to come, right? For the most part, once again. But I do enjoy the whole discovery aspect, going in kind of blind and just exploring the world. It's capturing a feeling that Classic WoW back in the days was not able to capture. Classic WoW played massively on nostalgia, but you had played everything before. For Season of Discovery, it's capturing on both the people that want to go back and play Classic WoW, but also the people that want to have Classic Plus, or something new, right? It's capturing both those elements.
I like it also, and mostly because it aligns with one of my favorite quotes.
We might be able to do that next time. Sulfuric farming. You never know.
You never know what you're gonna get.
Yep. True.
The betas and PTRs kind of rob you from the initial magic that comes with new content, and for that reason I believe people are willing to accept a couple of bugs or a class being overpowered for 1 week and welcome with open arms the unknown that comes with Season of Discovery. However, are we actually going completely blind into Phase 2?
No.
Not really. The foundation on which this game was built is one that was already figured out. Because of that and a couple of predictions and hints, today we are able to cover 7 things to expect in Phase 2 of Season of Discovery.
Okay,
so without further ado, let's get right into it. Shall we?
We shall.
Portals instead of summons. Phase 1 was full of warlocks that made a small fortune playing 3 accounts in order to summon people to various locations for a small fee. People got so comfortable.
You want to make a lot of gold in Phase 2 and you don't mind doing summons. Scarlet Monastery, and Razorfen Downs or Razorfen Crowl. All the dungeons that people are going to be leveling in, sell summons. And yeah, we're getting mage portals, but still, there's going to be a lot of places that people want to buy summons to. Like Tanaris, for example, you can buy summons over there instead of doing long swim. So buying a summon to Tanaris in Phase 2 probably going to be really lucrative. Selling those summons, of course. So Tanaris, Scarlet Monastery, Razorfen Downs, Razorfen Crowl, even possibly Stranglethorn Vale. And if you're playing Horde, then probably Nomer as well, even though they have a teleport in Booty Bay.
And lazy that warlocks were everywhere. South Shore, Ratchet, every major city, Ashenvale event, in every base, and so on. It's reported that some of these warlocks were making even 100 gold per day by providing summoning services.
Yep.
However, Phase 2 is going to break some of that market because mages are getting their portals. For a portal does not require 3 persons, and the reagent is quite inexpensive. Unfortunately, the Darnassus and Thunderbluff portals are only available at level 50, which means the summoning business is not going to be completely dead, because people will still try to get their BF.
When the first Darkmoon Fair happened on the Alliance side on my server, I have a friend doing summonings, like summons on a Warlock to make some gold. So he's opened up 2 extra accounts just to make all the gold himself. He made 100 gold, not in a day, 100 gold in an hour doing summons. How insane is that, dude? Like, he was charging, I think, usually you charge 1 gold, but at that point the Darkmoon Fair had just opened, and nobody was selling summons there for some reason. He charged 2 gold per summon, and don't even ask me why people paid for that. I think it's just because people have their Heartstones put in Darnassus, and also Ashenvale. It's like either one of those two. If you're farming the PvP event for reputation, you probably want to have the Heartstone in Ashenvale. Otherwise, you choose either Ashenvale or Darnassus. That way you're closest to the raid, you're close to the world buff, you're close to all of the things you're doing on a max level or a level 25 character, right? So most people have their Heartstones in Darnassus and Ashenvale. So a lot of people, when Darkmoon Fair came out, they wanted to go to Elwyn, and usually, like if you're in Darnassus, even if you have all the flight paths, that takes time. You have to go out of Darna, fly to Ruthdaran village, take a boat, then fly again, and you can fly to Ironforge, then tram, then fly. It's just a lot of hassle to get to Elwyn Forest from Darnassus to get to that Darkmoon Fair. So he was selling them for 2 gold a piece, and people were buying them, so he made bank that day.
The world buff in time for raid. So if you're thinking to open a summoning business for Season of Discovery, you might be a little late to the party.
No.
The competition is high, and you're competing with bots, but mages will definitely kill the business.
Scarlet Monastery,
bots,
though.
Gold buying, and a new rise and fall for the economy.
Yeah.
Bots are here to stay, and not because Blizzard is not doing an effort to stop them, because they do. A couple of weeks ago, they banned 270,000 accounts that used exploits or simply sold gold. And as usual, a couple of innocent people also got caught in the process. For Phase 2, this is not going to stop, and I predict that due to the rise in popularity of Season of Discovery, an army of bots will return stronger than ever before. And this has something to do with the amount of gold recently bought by players. I know that we like to blame Blizzard for everything wrong with the game, but sometimes it's not just them. Gold buying used to be perceived as something frowned upon, or even something that might get you kicked out of a respectable guild. Nowadays, it's not the case anymore, and people are bragging about how much gold they bought, which is kind of crazy to me. Even big streamers got caught buying gold and admitted it in front of a large audience.
Yeah, Blizzard took all my gold. I bought gold. I mean, it wasn't a secret, and I got pretty fucked. So, yeah, I lost all my gold. It was a lot.
Bro, at least he didn't get banned. Like, bro, he seems upset that he lost his gold, but like, bro, at least you didn't get banned, Soda.
I'm actually glad, in a way, that they are cracking down on bans. And I'm fucking lucky. So that's about where, yeah, I got off very easy. It's not.
With a new phase, we will see a
The question is, why didn't he get banned? It's just like now when people see that clip, they will be like, oh, so I can just buy gold, and all that happens to me is the gold going away. Mistakes were made, huh?
change in the economy. First couple of weeks, prices will boom, as people will get new raids, which require new consumables, new enchants, new materials required for acquiring runes, new big pots and gold EKPs, and not to mention the wave of epic BOEs such as God Reaper and Staff of Jordan, which will sell for a hefty price.
What about the bow of searing arrows? Wouldn't that be huge?
After a couple of weeks, the economy will probably collapse, at least on the mega servers such as Living Flame EU, which at the making of this video
that's where I'm playing.
Still locked. I know I'm making this sound grim, but it's the reality. This shouldn't stop you from having fun at all. All I can ask is that you don't get sucked into gold buying, because each gold bot will summon an extra bot into Season of Discovery. It's no secret who are the classes that performed well in Phase 1, and it wasn't different from the original Classic.
Okay, let's see what he has to say here. What's gonna change here, man? Here's the thing. Nomor is coming out, sure, and the way it currently works is that Nomor is full of mechanical units, which can't have bleed, which means that warriors and rogues are probably going to go down on DPS meters, but knowing Blizzard and knowing how people are, it's just, we're either going to get a rune or a class quest or something that makes it so that you can now put bleed on mechanical units and the problem is fixed, right? The same thing happened in Phase 1, kind of, where the bosses had a bunch of resistance to where casters did no DPS, and they tuned that down quite significantly. So either they will straight up make it so bleeds will work on mechanical units, or there will be a rune that makes it so that you can use bleed on mechanical units, or a class quest. I cannot see this happening, where rogues and warriors are useless in Phase 2. But let's see what he has to say.
I guess that some classes just scale better than others.
Oh yeah.
Every attempt for a class to beat warriors and rogues in PvE DPS was met with retaliation and nerfs from Blizzard. I guess we have to maintain the natural order of things.
Yeah.
In Phase 2, I think we're going to see the rise of casters because Nomor seem to have a decent amount of elementals that might be immune to bleeds and poisons, making rogues and warriors less likely to be the top performing class when it comes to PvE DPS. Also, the Classic development team is aware of this and they started taking actions even from Phase 1, reducing boss resistances by 50, adding more hit and spell power to the Black Fathom buff, and so on. Maybe the gear design for Phase 2 will contain more stats that benefit caster DPS. It's my belief that Phase 2 will be a caster phase, but I guess we will see soon. Level 40 cap and 31 talent points will make some classes really stand out both PvE and PvP.
Yeah,
For example, the Elemental Shaman was lacking just too much at level 25. Phase 2, however, will give them not one but 2 ranks of Chain Lightning, Elemental Mastery, Lightning Mastery, Storm Reach, and if you take in account the new Nomor gear, they will be killing machines. Shadow Priest will get Shadow Form and become even scarier. Warrior's Mortal Strike.
Okay, let's do an experiment here, boys, and in the comments down below, what are going to be the top 3 DPS classes in Phase 2? Like, if you had to guess, top 3 DPS classes or specs. So, like, for example, Warrior, Rogue, and Feral Druid. If you had to throw something out, I'm going to say, personally, I think they will keep Warriors and Rogues doing well. It depends on when in the phase. At the start, I think Hunters will do well, because Hunters, if you spec into BM, you get Bestial Wrath, and you do a lot of DPS without needing any gear. So, like, Hunters will probably be top DPS in week 1, but Hunters and Rogues, not Hunters, Warriors and Rogues, they scale so well. So, to be even more precise, who do you think is going to be top 3 in week 4? That way, you've gotten some gear, the scaling is going, so 1 month into Phase 2, who's going to be top 3? For me, that's going to be Warrior, Rogue, and Mage. Yeah, Warrior, Rogue, and Mage. I don't think is a caster phase. That's just me though. Once again, I do think Blizzard will do something here to where bleeds will work on mechanical units or something along that line. But yeah, let me know in the comments down below. What do you think?
But also Zerker Stance and Intercept, making the Warbringer rune a meme. Frost mages with Fingers of Frost and Ice Barrier. Oh boy. All this without even knowing the runes that are yet to be discovered.
Yeah.
Based on memories from the original Classic beta in 2019, the level 40 bracket was the most fun, and there's a high chance that history will repeat itself.
I've said it from the start, Phase 2 is going to be amazing.
Although level cap will be increased to level 40, people will still run the 25 raid BFD, because why shouldn't they? The last boss in BFD, Akumai, drops the Pearl, which eventually rewards you with 3 trinkets. Trinkets that will probably be best in slot even in Phase 2. Even let's say that Nomor will have another trinket, obtainable either from a drop or from another quest. This will serve as the second best in slot, as there are not that many trinkets available in the level 40 cap. On top of that, BFD can drop a variety of items that are still quite viable in Phase 2 and can serve as pre-best in slot for the Nomor raid.
Yeah. True.
Items like the helmets from the 3rd boss, like the Thinking Cap, sets that...
the Thinking Cap, wouldn't that one be swapped out with Spell Power Goggles? Or am I being stupid? I would think so. Spell Power Goggles over the Thinking Cap. what I can personally see, like for example the Leggings of the Faithful as well, you get better from doing SM, don't you? Like Scarlet Monastery. They're good, sure, but there's gonna be better ones available that are more easily obtainable as well. If you're doing SM, is it called Herald's Leggings, or are those like higher level requirements? I'm not in game right now, so I can't really check, but either way, the only things I can see dropping from the raid, like BFD, that you want to keep doing is the epics, sure. Maybe not the epic sword, because once again, warriors get access to insane items, Bone Biter for example, even Whirlwind Axe of course, so like all of those really good items at level 30 plus, that you can use instead of the sword. But the hunters, the bow is really good for hunters, the crossbow, and the staff is insane for casters and healers, like it's absolutely mental how good that one is. And then you have the trinkets, but if you've been doing the raid for a while, then for example in my guild, everyone has the pearl on their main and 2 of their alts. It's just like, we have done too many raids, and we have gotten too many trinkets and too many pearls. You can't even hand in the quest twice, by the way, for off-spec, so like if you have 1 pearl, that's it. You've done the quest, you don't get more pearls. Which means that either that has to change, or they have to take away the world buff from BFD in Phase 2. Because if we can't hand in more buffs or boons, that means we have to bring 1 more person who's never done BFD before, or who doesn't have the trinket, every time we do the raid. Assuming the world buff stays, right? Because if the world buff is there, you want to go back to the raid and get 1 pearl, pop it together to have a 2-hour buff with that boon. Personally, I hope that they take away that buff when Phase 2 comes out and puts it into Normer instead. But what might end up as we might end up having the boon of Black Fathom and the boon of Normer again. That might literally happen.
Provide set bonus, items with hit chance, and maybe the stuff that never drops, the epic stuff, which is actually better than a level 36 epic BOE Staff of Jordan. If we compare them 1 to 1, you will see that the one from BFD has more intellect, for example. Other items such as the necklace from First Boss with
it's better than Staff of Jordan,
maybe
bro.
The Twilight Lord set for warriors, which provides like defense rating and also strength and agility, stat combinations and set bonuses that are really hard to find before you enter Nomad. The beauty about this is that you're gonna be able to run Nomad at level 40, probably in 5 people or even less.
Ooh.
Recently I saw a streamer doing BFD in 4 people, so at level 40 it's safe to say that in a normal group you will be able to clear it. Also alts and fresh leveling characters will need to get that boon so the buff can keep on going on, so we could parse in Nomad. Multiple ways of leveling. Leveling from 25 to 40 is something people get stressed about. You will see a lot of guides and preps on how to do it, fill a quest log with 20 completed quests, save Warzone Gulch marks, farm the specific items, and so on.
Yep.
In reality, level 25 to 40 should be even faster than 1 to 25, and that's because people already, let's just say, are twink geared from BFD and from the level 25 cap.
True.
You will be able to melt and destroy mobs on your path to level 40.
Yeah.
We will have 10 layers, and these layers will have dynamic respawn timers, and if by any chance you completed all your quests for gold level 25, there is another way.
Yes.
Dungeon grind should be an easy 1 level per hour early on, and the only thing you should worry about is not to clear the dungeon too fast, because you can only do 5 ideas.
Dungeon grind, but also Blizzard, well I guess iGrind in this case, someone who worked at Blizzard, has been hinting towards multiple ways of leveling, not including questing, in Phase 2, like new ways to level, which could be the PvP event in Stranglethorn Vale, for example, dropping some coins or something to hand in for experience, or it could be waylaid supplies, giving way more experience this time around, we just don't know. But it's been hinted towards a new way of leveling, to where people that have done quests at level 25 for gold shouldn't really feel bricked, if that makes sense.
These per hour. We will witness the return of melee and spell cleave groups. Let me know in the comments what is the setup you would choose for a perfect dungeon grind group which has the best synergy.
5 mages, bro? Like, you have 5 mages, you just run in, and you have 1 person who's dedicated to healing through mass regen, and everyone else uses regen on themselves. So like 4 mages using regen on themselves. One mage doing mass regen, then the mass regening mage literally just pops Living Flame. Everyone pops Living Flame, you pop Living Bombs, everything explodes. GG. And then abuse pathing as well, where you can, like for example in Stockades, you can abuse pathing. In RFC, you can abuse pathing. I even bet, like even in Zul'Farrak, you can abuse pathing, but that's like, people are going to farm that at level 40. It's not going to be relevant until 40, but at level 40, I think we're going to see some very big Zul'Farrak farming for mages, definitely. But while leveling, you're doing SM, you can probably start doing some very clever SM pathing as well, really early. To which point mages are going to be insane. You can just counterspell all the casters and bring them in with the melee, and then just keep moving back and forth. I think 5 mages in a party is going to be absolutely destroying dungeons. I'm just going to put it that way.
In the end, I guess, gathering some friends and spending a couple of hours clearing dungeons and also getting some upgrades might not be such a bad idea. Which brings us to another point, the unknown again.
Ooh.
As Agren, the lead developer of Classic WoW, has
There we go.
stated that
Yeah.
there will be other ways to level in Phase 2. My guess would be that it will have to do something with a new event in Stranglethorn Vale, or maybe not. I guess we will be surprised when the patch hits. As for me, I have multiple characters to level. I will just take it on a nice pace, leveling them using RestedXP through the course of a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
Because let's be honest, Phase 2 is going to be a long one, and there's no rush.
It's going to be the
If you
best
wanna give it a
phase.
try, the add-on is free 1 to 20, and there's a link in the description down below.
Ooh.
Bada boom bada bam, be ready to welcome bugs with open arms. First place where we will encounter some friction will be class balance, with new level 40 spells and talents, but also some of the new and untested runes. During the first 2 weeks, expect to have a couple of nerfs to specific classes. My best guess is the Hunter again, but no one
Yeah.
really knows who's gonna be the next victim.
Yep.
Basically, don't get too comfortable with your class being too overpowered. I have a feeling that the new Nomad raid might have been the
Unless you're a warrior, because I've been saying this for like years now, I think everyone working at Blizzard are playing a warrior. Because when warriors are top DPS, nothing happens. But when a hunter is top DPS, you get nerfed 7 times. And never buffed again. So like, Blizzard are warrior players. They are.
developed in a rush. I'm basing this on the late release for Phase 2. I don't think the Classic team was expecting so much success for Season of Discovery.
Yeah, no, same.
So expect a couple of broken mechanics, but just to be fixed ASAP. The Stranglethorn Vale PvP event is supposed to be completely different than Ashen Vale. Some hints that it will have to do something with the Blood God Hakar. Some people speculate that you will be able to fight even your own faction for the last man standing.
Ooh.
But one thing is for sure, there will be blood. And with so much new and untested content, there will be bugs and exploits. You just make sure to report them and not take advantage of them. New ways of dungeon
Yeah,
farm
about
and
that,
boost.
huh?
You cannot have a Phase 2 without a trade chat being spammed by boosters. Level 40 bracket opens the gates to new farms and new boosts for dungeons such as Scarlet Monastery, Uldaman, and Zul'Farrak. During the first phase, we saw mages being able to boost efficiently walling caverns and stockades, and I'm not entirely sure if it will be possible to boost in Zul'Farrak and Uldaman, as these dungeons
I
have
think
high-level
will.
mobs, which will make the spell resists quite often. Reason why walling caverns and stockades works with boost, it's mostly because the mobs are within the level range. But if past equals future and there's a ledge to kite the mobs, most likely mages will figure something out. And to be honest, I wouldn't count the paladin out for being a potential booster or a good gold grinder, because he was capable of clearing the Zul'Farrak graveyard in the past. When it comes to general gold farms, professions will work great early on. Iron and mithril will sell great for people to level up engineering and blacksmith. Herbalism will be in high demand for the new waves of consumables required for progression in Nomar. And in general, level 40 to 45 mob spots for prebis greens, cloth, leather, and trade materials that could be useful for the new craftables in Phase 2. This is something I'm really looking forward to and can't wait to show you the new grinding spots.
Yeah.
If you got so far in the video, it means you really enjoy my content. So I will let you know that I've opened a new YouTube channel, Frostadamus TV, which has a dedicated editor. The channel will contain highlights from my streams, covering news regarding Classic WoW and upcoming MMOs, and everything else regarding World of Warcraft. So if you're interested in this, hop on and subscribe so you won't miss anything. Thank you very much for watching. If you have any questions, find me live at twitch.tv/frostadamos. With that being said, until our next encounter, stay frosty.
Okay, there we go, boys. Nice, that was a good video. 7 things to prep and expect in SOD for Phase 2, of course. A little bit of a different preparation video than usual, but it's talking about what's coming in Phase 2, and pretty good video, I will say that much. I think I turned this into a really long reaction, but I wanted to like put in my thoughts as well at the same time, and once again, prepping is something I personally love doing. I love going into a phase, knowing that I've done what I can, and I'm going in as fully prepared as I can be. That being said, I also love the whole discovery aspect that we have going right now in Season of Discovery, so it's all about finding a perfect balance. Being prepped versus going in blind. It's a perfect balance for me, because I want to prep what I can, but if we don't know, then we can't prep. Like, if there's like, we don't know the class runes, then we can't really prep what class to main, kind of. It just depends. The less we know, the less we can prepare, but I really like taking what we know and preparing based on that. I don't know if that makes sense to any of you, but either way, really good video, and hopefully you enjoyed my reaction to this and me watching this as well. If you did, leave a like down below, and once again, I'll be leaving links to both the video and Frostadamus in the description down below, so you can go and check that out as well, and go and show him some love. Once again, Frost was one of the big inspirations for me when I made this YouTube channel back in the days, and I just took a lot of inspiration from how he was doing grind spot in Classic WoW. I learned a lot as well about what's good in Classic WoW back then, and yeah, really good content creator, really good streamer, and really good video. Overall positive vibes. Either way, thank you for watching, I'll see you again very soon. Peace.